What if we did something like a really big file, user share dict words, remember this giant file, and we pipe that into, what do we call it, input? Read input, I already forgot. Pipe it into read input, what's gonna happen? We only get the first line. Read only reads the first line. You can modify that behavior by changing the delimiter character, but by default it only reads line by line, and it will only read one line. It successfully read one line. There's more data waiting for us to read, we just never read it. So let's go ahead and make this read all of the lines. How can we do that? Well, we can take this thing and put it in a while loop. Remember how I said you can put commands in an if or a while statement? You can just do while read. There we go. We can change the name of the variable from foo, let's call it line. So while read line, someone would call this, I see this referred to a lot as a while read line loop. That's what it is. So we put our semicolon here, we put our do, that's how we start the loop. We put our done, that's how we end the loop. And we can put whatever body we have here. I'm gonna give you a quick little tip about bash. If you don't fill in this body, if you don't put anything in there, it's invalid. So you will get an error. That is considered a syntax error. So if you're used to Python, you would have like the pass command. In bash, we can do true. Or some people might even do a single colon. Single colon is just a command that does nothing. Bad example because it's just gonna hang and wait for, it's gonna have to go through and process that line by line. But the single colon is just like the command true. You can do help colon, null command, no effect. This command does nothing, always succeeds. So pretty simple command built into bash. You'll see it used a lot. But now that we have this, let's go back to our read input command here and let's echo we read line $line. So let's go ahead and rerun that. Where's that? That cat pipe into read input. And as you can see, it's going through line by line and reading the data. So right off the bat, do you notice something? It's significantly slower to process a file line by line in bash than it is to just run it through cat and maybe pipe it to something else. So be mindful of that. Bash can read things line by line, absolutely. And it's not slow at it, but when you compare it to other tools, like if I were to pipe cat to grep Dave, very, very fast. If I were to go into this example and check like if line equal Dave or something like that, very slow. So just something to keep in mind there.